Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now, unfortunately, we are hearing news out of Raleigh where a second person has died this month due to the flu. Again, the Department of Health and Human Services, so far, a person between 50 and 64 and another 65 or older has died this month due to the flu. Now, the first death happened during the week ending October 4th. Officials say early deaths highlight the importance of staying up to date on vaccinations and taking preventative measures before the virus activity truly peaks later this fall and winter. Now, the DHHS is urging everyone 6 months and older to get the flu and COVID-19 vaccines. Adults 60 and older, along with pregnant women, are encouraged to talk to their providers about RSV vaccination options. Last season, 544 people died from the flu, the highest number since 2009. And now for some happier news, certainly some cool news as well. This one certainly had me pretty impressed and excited. We've got some Manio skydivers that set a Guinness World Record for the most tandem skydives in a day. Sven Giuseppe and his wife, Heather McClay, completed the record-breaking feat with the support of a large team of pilots, packers, and volunteers who helped to manage takeoffs, landings, and safety on the ground on September 22nd. Now, the average time from landing to the next jump was just under 9 minutes, with the quickest turnaround under a minute. Now, Giuseppe said, quote, "The guy who had the record before us is a friend of mine, so I was like, I want to try that one day. And obviously last month, getting it done was amazing, but submitting all the paperwork takes a lot of time. So we were just waiting and waiting, and finally it's official, so it is just super cool," end quote. Now, Heather, who participated in all 108 jumps, said the experience required both focus and trust. She said, quote, "It is super cool. I mean, it was a long process to get the official word, but the actual day was pretty exciting. Just an amazing day," end quote. Now, the couple submitted hours of video footage, documentation, and witness statements to the Guinness World Records to verify their achievement. Giuseppe said he hopes someone eventually surpasses their total so they can attempt the challenge again. Very, very cool to see. The accomplishment marks a milestone for skydiving enthusiasts and highlights Manio as the site of a new world record. For now, the couple will continue running their business, Skydive OBX, and continue training to eventually set an even higher record. Good for them. Big shout out again to Sven and Heather for conquering that massive feat. Now, we do need to turn to, of course, the government shutdown that is continuing. We are now in the 5th week of the government shutdown. NBC's Ryan Nobles has more on any potential progress being made towards opening the government again.
The clock is now ticking on relief for millions of Americans, with the federal food assistance program known as SNAP or food stamps set to pause in just days. President Trump asked about the stalemate overnight.
We're going to get it done. The Democrats have caused the problem on food stamps.
While Democrats say they're holding firm on negotiations, wanting concessions from Republicans on health care. Meantime, states taking matters into their own hands. 25 states governed by Democrats are suing the Trump administration to keep the funds flowing, despite the government being shut down. In Florida, Cheyenne Hayworth is rationing food to feed her family for as long as possible.
I'm only down to 1 pack of chicken, and I don't even know what I'm going to do for the next months.
And as federal employees also worry about the future, overnight, a judge indefinitely barring the Trump administration from firing those employees during the shutdown, as the White House had signaled. But many still on leave or working without pay. An estimated 1.4 million federal workers are now missing paychecks, including the nation's air traffic controllers.
The job that we do that already has a stressful day-to-day impact, they shouldn't have to worry about how they're going to pay their bills.
The FAA reporting more than 3,000 flight delays, some due to controller shortages. All this as lawmakers on Capitol Hill continue to hold their ground, rejecting the idea of a piecemeal approach. Are you inclined to continue to put up these standalone bills that perhaps pay the military, to pay federal workers, to provide SNAP assistance, or do you think it has to be done all in one fell swoop?
But that's not the way to approach this. The way to approach this is to reopen the government.
And continuing to blame each other for the lack of progress.
The Republicans have the House, the Senate, the White House, the president's overseas. As far as I can tell, he has spent 1 hour negotiating with Democrats on this issue.
And again, that was NBC's Ryan Nobles reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast, where we are continuing to keep an eye on the rain showers across eastern North Carolina right now. They've been light to moderate throughout the day today, and well, those are going to continue later on tonight. But we're going to be seeing some heavier rain roll in once we get past midnight tonight. That's when, again, our next round of thunderstorms could roll across eastern North Carolina. Here is a look at what we've got right now across the southeastern United States, and it's that swirling zone back you can kind of pick out the center of that swirl right at the Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama border, right there kind of at the that northeastern corner of Mississippi, northwestern corner of Alabama, that southern portion of Tennessee. That's where the low currently is sitting. Of course, a lot of the cloud cover that you're seeing right now also comes with raindrops. Transitioning over from satellite to your radar, you can see we've got rain extending all the way down into the panhandle of Florida. That band of showers and storms could be giving us a shot at some severe storms early tomorrow morning. We're talking between around 12 a.m. tonight to around 12 p.m. tomorrow. About a 12-hour window for those storms to arrive, and again will produce some damaging wind gusts. We're not looking again at widespread severe storms, but a few of us could possibly pick up some heavier downpours, and with those heavier downpours and the winds that already have been blustery, we saw yesterday the winds were strong enough to again create enough beach erosion and wave energy to take 5 houses off of the Outer Banks. Buxton lost 5 houses yesterday because of the winds and the beach erosion that was happening. Now, I don't think we're going to be seeing that same sort of wind, but we are going to again be experiencing some breezier conditions as those storms roll through early tomorrow morning. Right now, air temperatures generally in the low 60s, a few of us in the mid 60s, but there's also several of us still in the mid 50s. We've got 54 degrees in Roanoke Rapids, 56 in Rocky Mount, as well as Goldsboro, 58 in Ahoskie. So it certainly has not been a warm day thanks to the cloud cover and the northeasterly winds, but those winds will again turn later on tonight, coming in more out of the southwest tomorrow, and that will bring about a little bit more heat. We'll see air temperatures return to the upper 60s by tomorrow afternoon, but of course it's the round of showers and storms that we are anticipating coming in early tomorrow morning that may kind of hamper the start of your forecast tomorrow. This is a picture by the time we get to around 5:30 a.m. And we're going to kind of march our way through this. Here is another look at that band of storms as it's moving across the east. Again, right now it's looking a little bit more broken than it did last night, which is great news for us. That hopefully limits the amount of severe weather potential we could see over the east, but it is still present even as we head towards 11 a.m. tomorrow. Those rain showers and that band of storms will be pulling away from the coast. I think we'll finally turn dry along the Outer Banks once we get to around 3, maybe 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And then from there, we're looking at sunny and dry weather all the way through the upcoming weekend. We've got a dry tail end of Thursday, we've got a dry Friday, and we've got a dry weekend thanks to that area of high pressure further back towards the west. Now there you also see that cold front carrying Melissa out into the northern Atlantic. We could experience some of that wave energy reaching our coast later on tonight and then through the day tomorrow. That would be another aspect of the forecast that could lead to perhaps maybe another house or 2 or possibly 3 falling into the ocean as the wave energy generated by Melissa over the next day and a half. So What does that mean for us moving forward? Well, it means that, again, beach erosion remains a major concern across eastern North Carolina's coast as we try to wrap up hurricane season. For this evening, air temperatures are going to be holding fairly steady. We may actually warm up a bit overnight thanks to winds shifting from the east-northeast to the south-southwest. That southwesterly wind direction is very powerful when we're talking about moving in heat. That's exactly what it's going to do overnight tonight. So you may put your head on the pillow with air temperatures outside in the upper 50s, and you may wake up, take your head off of that pillow, and all of a sudden you're looking at the low 60s for that morning temperature. It's usually a rarity that we see is gain heat overnight, but it does happen, and it usually happens whenever we've got a warm front rolling through, which again, we will have tomorrow, well, really tonight into tomorrow morning. And then it's the cold front that will keep our air temperatures a little bit more reserved tomorrow afternoon, despite the sunshine and the warm start. So here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. Again, tonight and tomorrow will be first alert weather days. Now, we're not anticipating any of those heavy storms rolling in until we get past 11 p.m. tonight. So as far as this evening goes, you should be totally fine. But it's those early hours of Thursday morning that could come with a little bit of concern. Friday, looking at very sunny weather. We'll hold on to that sunshine through Saturday and Sunday. By Monday, a little bit more cloud cover returns to the area. But of course, hopefully by that point, we'll be seeing some overnight lows back in the mid to upper 40s, which will reduce our risk of frost across the east, at least for now. That's all we have time for today's 3 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.